NYSC. Click on that YouTube.
Is it the title?
Allow the children
It's okay. Off your mind. It's okay. She off your mind.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, Maiyegun don't come. Ingo torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we loud, Maiyegun don't come, my people make we shout, Maiyegun don't come, Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, Maiyegun don't come, Maiyegun diary politico, Maiyegun don't come, this one not the off in mind, Maiyegun don't come, and in the torchlight every corner, Maiyegun don't come. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day dollar just they get the higher power over naira. Still them talk say make we off mind, but thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you ladder, Maiyegun don't come, my people make we shout, Maiyegun don't come, Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, Maiyegun don't come, Maiyegun diary politico, Maiyegun don't come, this one not the off in mind, Maiyegun don't come, person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that Maiyegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say Maiyegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you loud. Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun diary Maiyegun number one. Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun diary Maiyegun number one. Maiyegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú. Maiyegun diary Maiyegun number one. Lórí Facebook lórí YouTube. Maiyegun diary Maiyegun number one. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Maiyegun já wa sí. Maiyegun diary Maiyegun number one. Àṣírí.
Hello there. So good morning to you. Good afternoon to you. And good evening to you from wherever you are joining us. It is brunch time with Maiyegun live. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me, brethren. It is brunch time, and if you remember that we have a particular topic we have been treating, obviously, you know, the topic that is beyond just politics. You know, even though it started from politics, right? Bigotry, tribalism. You know, what we figure out is that those who have been spreading this kind of hateful narratives and rhetorics, right? They are doing so just for one man. But the damages that they are causing is quite more than what they can imagine. But for the sake of our own children, our children, right? Our children's children, right? It is ideal, number one, to point out this bad, this bad character or attitude, point it out. Then number two, right? Ensure that the younger generation are not raised, right, in believing that it's actually okay to be this hateful. when we were growing up, right? I never really used to care about where, I never knew people came from this or that until I became older. Even when I was older, when I became older, right? I still never really wallow in this level of tribalism, hatred, this and that, like we are witnessing today. But the last time I spoke on this same topic, I said, listen, there is always that tiny, at least no matter how little, tiny bit of this tribalism, this bigotry, you know, sort of like embedded in us. Every tribe, every ethnic nationality in Nigeria. Politicians didn't create this kind of animosity today. It's always been there. They weaponized it, no doubt. But we have gotten to a stage whereby these political miscreants, you know, these children of perdition, the ronukus to be precise, right? They are beginning to believe in their own hatred enough that maybe it's ideal, but it is not. And that is why on Maiyegun's Diary Political, I am doing my bit, you know, when we get to a stage where the supporters of a drug baron, drug dealer, is upset that, you know, families, people with responsible family background and all that, that they could tear them apart. It's also part of, like, you know, the advancement of their political slavery, so to say. So tear them apart, separate them, tag them, add colors to them by categorizing them into different stupid citizenship categories or so. But none of this that they are doing is actually for the Yoruba's sake. It's not ever for the Yoruba land to start with. Now, if your parent taught you how to be hateful, right? Well, I think it would be ideal to give the glory to them than take the glory away from them and label it on the entire ethnic or tribe. You get what I mean now? Because people will tell you that there are good people and bad people in every tribe and this. And we also have people who have actually experienced the extreme tribalism. You know, extreme tribalism, extreme bigotry, something that gave them a kind of like a culture shock, sort of, right? So in all of this, speaking out is believed. Speaking out, speaking up actually does help. And that's what we are doing on Maiyegun's Diary Political. Living in denial, we have people who live in denial. Those who understand that this actually happens. Maybe they have participated in it, spreading it or encouraging it. However, they live in denial to make it look like it's nothing. I used to say some of these banters too, they are nothing. Well, they were nothing, or maybe they were, but we were so ignorant that we felt it was actually, maybe they were something. But we're so young, so ignorant that we felt like they were nothing. But this day and time, younger generation are now asking and questioning everything they were told. So it's no longer just going to be about you telling somebody that the Yorubas are this or the Igbos are that, you know, or the Hausas are this or the Robos. You know what I mean? Like, it's not enough to say that about people anymore. You know, you would have to actually like give concrete empirical evidence to say, you know, I mean, deal with people individually too. That's another thing. We want to encourage that people should deal with people individually. Yeah. Anyway, so on Maiyegun's Diary Political, I've brought to you two stories. They are very common, and some of you will probably, you can relate. Depends, okay? So we have a situation whereby some of us believe that Nigeria is not working for us, except for the criminals in charge, right? And in that regard, the only way Nigeria can work for every indigenous people in that place is by asking them if they still want to be part of this contraption or not, okay? That condition. And I supported the breakup of that contraption, by the way, and peacefully, where people would decide where and then what have you they belong to. But there are others who believe that, no, it's not that bad. You know, we are good together, the giant of Africa, and other stuff that, you know, all those fantasy stuff they've told you. Disappointingly, right? You cannot pretend to build something on nothing, okay? So this, you know, this is a grassroots grown sort of like politically sponsored hatred and other whatever sponsored or tribally sponsored hatred, I don't know, right? So wherever it is, people like us are honest enough, okay? We are honest enough to identify them, talk about them, and at the same time, see if some of you can come around, come around and say, you know what? It's true. It's actually true that, it's actually true that there are some of these tribal ethnic limitations, right? There are some of you can't really explain, but somehow your own ancestors, the generations before you, even your parents, they probably conditioned you to reason that way. So when you now reason and well and say, okay, they said that the Igbos should not marry the Yorubas. The Yorubas should not marry from other place. You know what I mean? Like everybody should day their day. But even within the day or day too, right? You see how people who are like, you can marry from the other tribe, like within Yoruba land or within Igbo land or within other land like that. They will tell you within this closely knitted, tribes, they will still tell you that they are not allowed to, be careful of this or be careful of that. Do you understand? Even though they probably want to believe that they are of the same country, we have the same country, Nigeria. We are one Nigeria. We are one. We are brothers. But in practice, genuinely, there is nothing like that. But like I said, there are good people in every tribe. There are bad people in every tribe as well. So when you are now dealing with any individual, I want to encourage you to actually deal with that individual as that individual, not as the entire ethnic nationality of his. That would be a good start. However, the concern for why we need to keep shedding more light on this every now and then, and every opportunity we have, we should continue to put it out, is that we have had, despite these differences, right, we have had our people who have intermarried, okay? And when you get to a state where people are saying that if war breaks out today, you get, they will kill this also set of people first. I say, but you are married to one. No, I don't care. I will kill my own children first. I will kill my own this and that first. Like, what kind of hatred would be so grown inside you enough that you do not want Nigeria to break, but at the same time, you hated yourself so much that, see, when people married like this, like intermarried, you are supposed to be like, oh, that's a bond. There are people who are afraid of that though, right? I have people who are afraid of intermarriages and all that. They said the more people are married to one another from all ethnic and what have you, yeah, they said the more it will become impossible to break up Nigeria and all that. Anyway, to me, before we get to that stage, we should actually deal with the the current existential threat to these intertribal, inter-ethnic marriages. Their products are being called tainted blood, right? And then somebody who was in a relationship, you see, some of you are older today, especially those of you who are like, what did they call us, the 80s and millennials, right? Or maybe those of you who are before us then, the what they call you, baby boomers or something, right? Anyway, to those of us, to those people who are older, or maybe my age too, right? So they will tell you how much relationship got destroyed, terminated, simply because the parents of their spouse, or sorry, of their, I don't know, can I even use a fiancé or so? Anyway, of their boyfriend or their girlfriend, their parents rejected their relationship. It's not their own relationship. It is not theirs, but they were like, no, you can't. So when you ask them why, for those who got answers, many people don't, many people didn't, but for those who got answers, they just make up some ridiculous excuses, right? Just to say that, no, you can't. So to me, I'm like, when people feel like this towards themselves, they should actually be happy whenever conversation about let us go our separate ways comes up. Like, people should be happy. People who says they could barely live or tolerate one another, right? They should be happy to say, okay, yeah, you know what, let us just, but they are also the same pro-Nigeria. I mean, it's ridiculous, right? A young boy, okay, there is another one. The two stories I brought to you this afternoon, because I'm trying to run this. Hang on, no, I should have even asked you if you can hear me loud and clear, or I was just talking to myself. See, I decided to use our bigger room this afternoon. I know it's going to probably look awkward to some of you, right? But this is the bigger room, okay? So, and I'm also going to please implore you to, or plead with you, but rather, that you should please, when it is time for us to probably phone in, which can be now, please phone in as well. I'm trying to test run all of this and see how it works. And if it works well, of course, I can begin to share with you, the podcast where we can bring in, guests. We can bring in guests to come in, have their own views here and all that stuff. Here you go. So, and anyway, I'll come back to that. Let's continue our gist a bit, okay? So this young man in Nigeria, right? Yakubu Golos did something. He set up NYSC after the genocidal war of 1967 to 1970. And he called it NYSC to rebuild sort of like cohesion, relationships among Nigerians, in quotes, Nigerians. And Nigerians or Nigerian children, students, right, will be posted across Nigeria to go and serve in different parts of the country in order to learn about them, culture, tradition, and what have you. Now, we know that that scheme, right, with what Nigeria is today, that scheme is a failure. Okay, it is. So rather than for Nigerians to kind of like have what is called a national, national dream or national goal or national something that gives everybody this national cohesion, something that you say, oh, this moment I don't want to think as a Yoruba, I don't want to think as a this, I don't want to think as that, I want to think as a Nigerian. Yeah, no, it didn't. It failed woefully. Like it failed. Today it's just it's like a meat machine, kind of like a meat grinder, where they now send these children to different dangerous zones, dangerous spots across the country. And everywhere they still go to, you will still see many of them that will tell you how they are being discriminated against, or how they are actually like probably being really supported. So I have these two stories for you, all right? And they are stories that you can easily relate with. I mean, I've heard something like this for like many times. Yeah, many times. And one thing is that I've had people who were told never to marry themselves. You get that now? They were told, no, you can't marry yourself because this person is from that tribe or not that tribe. Here you get. And they ignored their parents. They got married. They were in big, serious, problems after that. However, they still disobeyed them. But you see, these days, right, especially after that, your 2023 charade, it is more or less like a deal breaker now, okay, where people are beginning to see that whatever, the future dangers can be avoided now, okay? You don't want your children to be called tainted blood. They can't become anything in your land. It's unfortunate to share you get. However, especially us Yorubas, that's one thing that you will never forgive the ronukus. You see, the ronukus are like cancers. They have succeeded in making it look like this is who the Yorubas are. But somebody said, you see, the Yorubas are the most accommodating people in today's Nigeria, even though somebody will say that's debatable. But I'm a Yoruba man. Okay, so we are the most accommodating. Yeah, we do have some, some low lives among us, just like you have them all over the place, right? Some low lives among us whose self-esteem have always been so low, and they are the loudest. Do you get that now? They are the loudest. It doesn't matter whether they have money, whether they are educated or not, whether they are rich or poor. It doesn't matter. We have those primitive-minded people, even within, you know what I mean? However, there are so many very, very good Yorubas. I have had testimonies of people who have had encounters with Yorubas, or the Yorubas who have had encounters with the Igbos, and they have been like a life-changing experiences for them. Lovely stuff, right? We have had people, people say that we are the least traveled in that Nigeria, maybe not outside Nigeria, but within that Nigeria, they believe that the Yorubas are the least traveled within that space. So therefore, they heard more about, the innuendos, the outputs, and other junks that are made up about other tribes, other ethnic nationalities in Nigeria and all that, right? Anyway, the Yakubu Golo's National Youth Service was supposed to bring a cohesion across the country. As it is today, right? It is obvious that that didn't work. So if that failed, at this point, the breakup will be the ideal one, right? But the new generation, I'll call them the Gen Z, right? The Gen Z, who are people who, the generation that questions everything. So today, they are also discovering that most of what they were told by their own parents and then their own parents, most of them were made up just to suit these primitive, tribal, bigoted agendas. They are finding out, while others are also finding out that that is also not completely true. You see, there are people who are now aware, and the younger generations are beginning to, doesn't mean that there are still no others, right, who are dwelling very much in this. So a lady who lost her relationship is what I'm going to share with you first. So you tell me, when you call in, you're going to share with us, what is your own personal experience like? Are you also considering this, what do you call it? Are you considering trying to save your own future children, right? So by making sure that you choose your partner very carefully. Well, you do choose your partners very carefully. We have to choose our partners very carefully anyway. But, tribally and other stuff, these are real existential problems caused by the political criminals in that contraption. But raising awareness more on this, right? There are other things that you can also possibly get out of this. Because another thing is that when you allow wrong people to have access to power, when they begin to deal with the rest of us, like somebody said that when you fail to show interest in politics, when you don't show interest in politics, right? Then what happens is that you would have to be ruled by your inferiors. Have you noticed that? Yeah? When superior, talented, educated, enlightened, humane human beings stay away from politics. So you'll be left with your inferiors. You will be ruled by your inferiors. Look around you. Look at those guys parading themselves as those in charge of that contraption, pushing tribal, religious, ethnic, this and that, all this hatred, right? All this stuff. They are inferior people. They are low lives. There's no amount of gold that you can use to make a crown. Once you put a crown on the head of a clown, it will make him a king. It will make him a clown. Yeah. So that's exactly what you have in that contraption, unfortunately. So this lady's experience sounds similar?
You can't marry her, you can't marry her. She's from Igbo. My son will not marry an Igbo girl. Now, what my babe, mama just tell me now. It's very funny. Okay, so my guy was like, let's go and see my mom. Let's go and see my family people. It's been 2 years we've been together. You need to see my family people. We need to start planning the wedding and all that. You need to know me. You get? So I was like, okay, let's go. And we set out a date to go and meet them. It was on a Friday. And I dressed all good and I looked good. And I went to meet my future mother-in-law. She saw me, oh, she was very happy. She accepted me. She was like, oh, you're so beautiful. I love your height, all this, that one. I mean, I was like, this man is very nice. Oh, you know, that first time she was all loving and caring and all that. And we went inside. I met his dad, I met his mom, met his siblings too. They were all nice. I went inside and she was asking me some personal questions. She took me aside and she was like asking me some personal questions. And she asked me my state of origin. I'm like, oh, okay, ma, I'm from Anambra State. She was like, you're an Igbo girl. I said, yes, ma'am, an Igbo girl. She was just, her facial expression was something else. She was giving her face somehow, like, say, a person plaster and sheets for face. Me, I was still trying to maintain my steez, like, I didn't want to fall his hand, so me, I was just trying to maintain my steez in front of his mother. She was like, I didn't know you were from Igbo. He didn't mention your tribe to me. That I don't know. You Igbo people, there's a way people used to behave. We don't used to really get along with you people. And people from my side don't usually marry Igbo girls because of they are too wide and too materialistic. That my son will not be able to cope with me because of I'm from Igbo. In my head, it was like, my tribe has nothing to do with my personality, has nothing to do with my attitude, my behavior, or anything. So why are you already judging me because I'm Igbo? That I said it in my mind. I didn't actually tell her. I didn't say anything to her. I was just looking at her. And she was like, let's go inside now. I know that. When we entered inside, my guy noticed the change of atmosphere and everything. He was like, let's go. I feel he has already had that conversation with his mom because you know, could tell me, say, your mama never tell you that kind of thing before, like, don't marry from this tribe or marry from this tribe and all that. Maybe they have, but I don't know yet. So he was like, let's go home and everything. We didn't talk in the car because me, I didn't say anything. What's in the apple? This is my first time experiencing something like that, so I don't even know how to react to it. So we went home and everything was going fine. Fast forward to 2 weeks later, he called me on the phone and was like, babe, what's up now? I said, I'm fine, how are you doing? It's like, I should come to his house. That what am I doing? I should come to his house. I said, okay, I'm coming. I was not doing anything. That was a weekend, and I went over to his place. He sat me down, and we spoke. And he was like, I'm sorry, but the relationship has to end. Bros, 2 years. I'm laughing now, but it was not funny that time. 2 years, it has to end. Why? Because of my tribe. It was like, there's nothing wrong with you. I love you so much. I would like you to be the mother of my kids, but my mom doesn't fancy your tribe. And I was just looking at him, says, wait though, if actually all this thing worked out, this is the kind of person I'm actually going to get married to. Someone that actually would take his mother's side in things like this. Decisions that you ought to make, personal decisions you ought to make, you're actually taking your mother's side because she has a thing against Igbo women, Igbo people. Me, I love my tribe. Me, I love my tribe. And I even had no intentions of marrying someone that's not from Igbo. It's just love. Love now carry me and go where I do not know. I don't want to go and marry mommy's boy. Thank God that I was saved, Sha. You know, I told my friends this story and they were just laughing at me. I don't know. Is it funny? It's not funny because I would have been Mrs. something and would have a husband that is a mommy's boy that takes every decision from his mother or allow his mother to make every decision for him. Yeah, I cannot do that kind of thing. Your mother cannot come to my house and be controlling my activities, controlling my house or anything because he's your son. Your son cannot marry from Igbo. You and Igbo don't really get along. Can you imagine the audacity? Because I want to manage your son. Chai. Atanama ahuhu as an Igbo girl. We move.
You know, that's a young woman. I mean, there are many of us here that would admit that you've heard it before. Or maybe your parents have said, I've told you this before. Malo gbe Igbo wale o. Malo fomo Igbo. Yeah? But at the same time, that is not a Yoruba thing, oh, right? Because at the same time, you will see some family that will tell you that, my children will never marry Yoruba. I'm going to Yoruba. I'm going to call of Igbo, call of, you know. But that's a young woman. That's a young woman's experience. 2 years relationship. Two people found themselves, loved themselves, stayed with themselves, planning to settle down with themselves, only for them to be told no. And we have had people who actually will end up miserable for the rest of their lives because the real person they love, because of tribe, ethnic and the rest of that. So if you ask your mom, have you had any personal experience? They have not had any personal experience. They just heard. You've heard where they will say, the Igbos are using leg to wake their parents. No Igbo use leg to wake their parents. But there are those who actually, because they hear that they use leg to wake their parents, they say, no, I don't want to. I'm an Igbo. I don't know what your own experience is, though, as a Yoruba person, right? I never experienced this level of bigotry per se, but we were like panthers back then. But when you see bigotry or tribalism that gets to a stage, they are all supposed to be one Nigerianist, too. You are Nigerians, Abi. You're supposed to be Nigerians. Right? But you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about? Within that space, inside of you, there are some of you watching me right now who are also guilty. You're guilty of this. But you see the innocent children that we are giving birth to today, right? They are so innocent that we would have to teach them this level of hatred. That they are, when you see people who are really passionate about their hatred for this tribe or for that tribe, you'll be like, man, God damn it, man. Like, how do you harbor so much stuff in your heart? Right? And that's for a young lady. Like I said, you know, their stories are relatable. I've had people who said, oh, what do you call it? My own experience was that I was warned that the Yorubas are betrayers. And you're like, okay, Yorubas are betrayers. Who told you that? They say, well, my parents, my this and that. I say, okay. But as your parents ever had an encounter with the Yorubas, like Yorubas, your parents probably never even left Igbo land, ever. And if they ever did leave the Igbo land, maybe for somewhere else. Yeah. But when you meet Easterners who have settled in the western part of Nigeria, they will tell you how the experience has been so wonderful enough that they raised their whole family there, older today. But like I said, there is always still that animosity buried somewhere, tiny, no matter how little, no matter how tiny. Education was supposed to have like resolved that, all right? Unfortunately, Nigeria education is a total disaster. So it's a waste. The more educated people are, the more bigoted they tend to be. Well, in my own opinion. Now, look at this young man. He served somewhere in Abia, he said. So he shared his own personal experience when his own grandma warned him about this. His grandma never ever crossed Orel. His grandmother, she has never left Yoruba land per se. She's a very old woman, according to the way he described her. But this grandma has so much to say about the Igbos that she was offering advice to her grandson about a place he was going to serve Nigeria, right? This young man, his own story.
Real quick, let me do this video. While I was traveling to the east for the very first time, my grandma called me into the room and started advising me. All this advice of like 1 hour, steady advice of 1 hour. None of them shows like imparting some kind of knowledge. All the things that was imparted in me is no follow Igbo do anything, no. Igbo people na bad people. No marry Igbo. The most important thing na no marry Igbo. You no do anything with Igbo people. Mind the way you do something with Igbo people. Igbo people na bad people. At first, I was like, waiting old woman sit down for chair, see. Small pikin wey climb tree if you no see am. So I went to the east with that mindset. When I get there, I decided to bring down myself because I go school there. I decided to be like calming down and be watching them. You see that thing where they talk say, if you no bend down, you no go see Aba. If you no bend down, you no go see the whole of Igbo people. No be even only Aba. I started doing things with them. I started mingling with them. Then I feel like these people are not bad the way they used to say they are bad. So fast forward to 2017 when we came back to my state for my grandfather's burial. After the burial arrangement and everything, we finished up with the burial and everything. The day I was about to travel back to the east again, she called me and started the same preaching. No do anything with Igbo people. No marry Igbo person. No, I dey warn you. Now I was like, okay, why you say make I no marry Igbo person? He was like, look at your senior brother now, which is my uncle that took me to the east. Look at your senior brother. Since when he marry, they remember us again. Now small money just they send give us. They give us the way they give us again before. Since when he married this in wife. I was like, this is trash. Then I traveled back to the east. I now pay attention to, because I was not paying attention to my brother's lifestyle. Although he was making his money doing brother's lifestyle. Although he was making his money doing his thing, but he's not as that rich as they think. And this woman that they are saying the woman is the one that is not making him to send money back home. This woman is working for herself. So where is this mentality coming from? See, all I want to use this story to tell you is that when you want to travel to anywhere, free all the hatred talk where they don't put inside your head about those people. Because each and every land have their own blessing. And you can't tap from that blessing if you hate the people of that land. There is no way you can tap from that blessing if you hate those people. You they come Yoruba land, you'll hate Yoruba person. You hate Yoruba people, you no go tap from their blessing. You they come Igbo land, you hate Igbo people. You no go tap from their blessing. That is the more reason why Igbo people they tap from our blessing, because they know they come here with hatred. You go they complain, say you go Igbo land, you know achieve anything till you come back. Waiting there your mind will make you travel go that side. How good are you to those people when you get there? How willing are you to mingle with them and work with them? Because when you get to Rome, you must do like Roman so that you can tap from the Roman blessing. Thank you. God bless you.
You too. You see, if we are being honest, though, don't get me wrong, because there are some of us who, no matter what you say to them, no matter any evidence you present to them, that bigotry blood is so thick. And some of them watching me right now will be like, this will not be Yoruba. Because that's how they get to know those who are not Yorubas. Okay? Because to them, they are telling their young ones that this so tribe hates them. Right? And that's all they have to say. They don't have to prove anything. They don't even have to kind of like tell you what happened between them that made them say or make your parents say that. They can't explain. They just wanted to pass it on. Pass it on. Why are you questioning it? We just told you that the Yorubas ate the Igbos. Oh, no. The Igbos ate the Yorubas. Oh, they hate us. But I don't understand. I don't hate them. It's, what is wrong with you? Are you a Yoruba like this? You will regret it. You will see. The Igbos will do this to you. Another person will say, the Yorubas are this, other. I say, no, the Yorubas like Kwano. They are not. Yeah? They are not like that. I mean, I don't have that experience. I didn't experience that with them.
And then they will say, Mesiano, you this, I'm trying to pick up some of these fancy abusive words. Say, Mesiano, full. You are following the Unyamiri. So you are following the Ofe Manu. So the Yamiri are the Igbos when they are using all those slow words on themselves, right? So Yamiri, the Fulanis, the Hausas, or Northerners who call them the Yamiris, because they too were trained to hate the Igbos. So maybe they are telling, like somebody who just commented now that, normal. Somebody just said, "Imo mama na Igbo," and he intentionally typed it as a Igbo, IBO. So when people type Igbo in their comment, it's intentional. Yeah, it's intentional. A bigot that will tell you that he's not a bigot. Just take all his actions. There's something in him that says that, if you see a Yoruba bigot, for example, he will type Igbo intentionally. Because he dey in body. Then he will tell you, I'm not a bigot, so I'm not a tribal, but let me tell you something. The Igbos ate the Yorubas. I say, how? I'm telling you, see, I know it. If you do, you see, in my area, if you know, I say, how? The Yorubas ate the Igbos. I say, how? My friend, you don't understand that you are different. I'm telling you, the Yorubas, they don't like us, the Igbo. They say, but I'm a Yoruba man. I don't have anything against the Igbos. But maybe you were told that no matter how much I say that, you must never believe me. You don't trust the Yoruba man. No? There are people pushing this. They exist. Now, this is why we talk more about it, because in all of this that you are witnessing on social media every now and then, there are real life kind of like victims, real life, people in their real life. And they are not just experiencing the fact that, oh, I'm a Yoruba or I'm a Igbo or whatever. No. They are experiencing the fact that they are in between. Their mama, their papa, they have mixed backgrounds. And that is why I'm like, come on, share your story with us if you can. But there are people called the closet tribalist or bigoted people. I mean, you can be you can be a tribalist who, for real, a tribalist who is a pro his tribe. Do you understand that? Like, you're a tribalist. There's nothing wrong in being a tribalist that loves his tribe, respects his own tribe. But you have to also respect other people's. Even if you don't, hang on, why would you not even like them? I wanted to say, even if you don't like them, but why would you not like them? Why? Anyway, it doesn't matter. So respect the other people's world of view, and then you'll be fine as a tribalist. But when you look very well at those, especially the ronukus, the bat idiot, the bastards, the Yoruba ponus, the Omuale, the days of Yoruba land. They don't give a shit about Yoruba land. They don't care. They don't. That the Fulani terrorists have created over 2,000 different terrorist camps in our forest, killed over 6 Yoruba obas, kidnapped more than 8 Yoruba obas that paid ransom. Yeah, that will get me mad, right? As a Yoruba man, it actually did get me so crazy. I did a lot of program on that, right? It doesn't move them. They don't care. They don't care. There are some of them who are actually saying that the Fulanis can continue to kill us. The Fulanis can continue to kill us, but we must take these Igbos serious. We must make sure that these Igbos are kicked out of our land. Because it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. You're okay to keep seeing our people slaughtered. It's inconsequential, it doesn't matter. But you see those ones who comes to your land to do business, pay taxes, pay house rent. Some of them buy lands to build properties. They also pay taxes. Hired people, training them, paying salaries to those who are working for them. Those ones are more dangerous than the Fulani terrorists who are holding guns, AK-47 guns, chasing us down like we are just one kind of, animals in a game reserve. That doesn't bother them. I'm serious. There are those who are on social media promoting that, and their charade election is coming back again. You listen to this.
When you look at the situation of things, yeah, they are killing Fulani. Fulanis are killing people. Elders are killing people in the bush. They are killing. But the people that want to take over our political space and economic space in 21st century are the Igbos. When you look at the situation of things, yeah, they are killing Fulani. Fulanis are killing people. Elders are killing people in the bush. They are killing. But the people that want to take over our political space and economic space in 21st century are the Igbos.
You see what I'm saying? That is what I'm saying. They parade themselves as Yoruba conservatives, spreading hatred, hateful, divisive messages and rhetorics. They are so convinced that they are making a lot of sense, but they are not. What they are not telling you is that they will even tell you. Some of them will tell you that, I'm not a PC supporter. I don't even support ffrom. It's just I'm a Yoruba man. These people cannot be coming to come and insult my Yoruba. Cannot be insulting. But that's not true. They are not pro-Yoruba. They don't give a shit about Yoruba land. These are just bots, like created sewage dwellers whose job is to spread and push divisive, hateful rhetorics. They don't care about Yoruba land. You wait till ffrom is no longer your president anymore. You'll begin to shout pro-Yoruba again. This time around, they won't give a shit about Nigeria because they don't care. You see the real Yoruba Omoluabis, the Yoruba Omoluabis, the ones who have a lot to lose. Those of you who still have ancestral lands. When you look at ffrom and his co-travelers, all these ronukus, the Ronu bastards, right? These are a bunch of low lives that gives no, we call them crumb eaters though, right? The crumb eaters, the crumb chasers, the ass lickers, the all-risers, the ombud slaves, the voluntary slaves, Anyway, so they have nothing to lose. Fulanis can take over every land they want to take as long as ffrom and his gang are not losing Lagos. Everywhere in Yoruba land can bleed. That is the truth. That's them. And that is why those of you who have been somehow swayed, right, emotionally manipulated. When you watch programs like this, when you watch Maiyegun, it is to help you stop digging your own graves. You know what I mean? The hatred they are spreading and the rest, they are weaponizing the differences between the people. And in this regard, right, to the disadvantage of the children from these relationships. If in 2025, an educated person is telling their own, it's actually stopping a 2-year relationship. So to those of you who are older now, or those of you who have been victims in the past, right, this won't be a shocker for you. It won't. But to these young children in their 20s, they would have to learn it hard way, right? I mean, they are saying it to themselves that we need to protect, the sanctity and then the mental health of our children in the future. You don't want your children to be bullied. You don't want your child to be bullied simply because of the circumstances of their birth. And that's why we must speak up. So again, I'm testing or test running this change of scenery like this. I know it looks a little bit, I don't know, it looks a little bit like too much, isn't it? Like, So we will be having our own, what's it called again? Like we'll be having our own podcast in here very soon. And that will be like that. So that will be interesting, put it that way. So an interesting time where I can possibly bring back to this place, right? If I get hold of some of these rogues from that contraption, right? So I can drag them down here, get a few other guests, and have a gist about what they are up to, right? So I'm just running this, and again, my line. Let me check that again. Sorry that I missed that your call. If you have tried to actually get through, okay. So listen, the number to call if you want to be part of this for another 25 minutes. Another 25 minutes. So the line will be opened, and I actually want you to call in so that I can check this and make sure that the line itself is working, right? So the Fulani terrorists, they have a new, I think, a new entrant into the game. They are called the Bermuda terrorists. Guess what? They are domiciled in Kwara State. Kwara and Kogi. In the last 4 days alone. You see, Kwara is believed to be a Yoruba land, even though the way the geographically kind of like map it out, they are telling us that it is not South Central. Because to me, I was like, okay, if you call the middle belt of Nigeria North Central, right? Why not call it a South Central? Because the majority of people from that middle belt part of Nigeria, they are more than 80%, I'm sorry, more than 70% who are like Christians, right? Now, I'm not saying the South is Christian per se, but it's like it's balanced that way, right? So, Kwara State has been witnessing ceaselessly the violent campaign of this Bermuda terrorist. So far, they've killed over 50 people. Yeah, just like Bassa and Bokos. Yeah, like Agatu, and then what's that place again? Otrupo. In Benue State, where they have been going on and on and on and on and on with their campaign, their bloody violent campaign, right? Anyway, so they call the middle belt of Nigeria, they call it a North Central. So I think I'm going to start calling it a South Central so that you can understand how ridiculous that actually sounds, okay? North Central. Why not South Central? Kind of, right? Anyway, so Kwara State, Kogi State, Plateau State, Taraba State, Nasarawa, and one more. No, is Nasarawa not northwest? Anyway, it doesn't matter. All this middle belt, right? So Kwara State is a Yoruba land. Yeah, that one is true as well. I know they have Fulani there too, especially those ones in Ilorin. But statistically, right, the population of Yorubas in Kwara State is over 70%. They are in the majority, so it's the Kwara State, right? Very close to home, right? Oyo North, in Oyo State, where Solomon Makinde Ibadan, their governor, right, has been telling us how much he's been investing in the security apparatus and the rest of that place. But you see, Oyo State alone, from what we gathered, there are over 500 Fulani terrorist camps. Now, you see, Oyo State share the border with Kwara State. So they're like this. So right now that you have a Bermuda terrorist in Kwara State, wreaking havoc, destroying communities and villages, collecting taxes from Nigerians. That's one unbelievable thing I have possibly like experienced in a long time, right? Never experienced before, but like I've been watching in a long time. Terrorists, they collect taxes in Nigeria. And it's not even funny. Terrorists collecting taxes in Nigeria. And as for Tifnumbu and his gang, about you on your own, no? You are on your own. So will tribalism help at the end of the day? Tribalism that can't guarantees you any form of security. Here goes a waste of tribalism near Gonsef. Tifnumbu is a Yoruba man. Allegedly. So if Tifnumbu is a Yoruba man, allegedly, yeah, and today our people are being dealt this horrible blow by terrorists that seems to be like above the law. Yeah. Give me a circle. I think I have my first caller and I hope this connects enough, right? Hello.
Hello, sir. Can you connect again?
Oh, you connect you, Baba. How you doing?
Afis Balogun ló sọ̀rọ̀ bàbá.
Afis Balogun ọmọ ṣẹ̀kẹ̀rẹ̀ ọmọ Àtìbà. Ó yá túpè.
Ọkùnrin mẹ́ta ọmọ Balógun òjò pa ṣẹ̀kẹ̀rẹ̀ máa dẹ̀ lọ́yọ̀ọ́lé.
Wàhálà.
Ló sọ̀rọ̀. Yes. Ìgbà tí mi rẹ́ níbọ̀dì pé wọ́n lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ pé àwọn ti tẹ̀sí ká ló máa ìpínlẹ̀ rẹ̀. Àwọn ti tẹ̀sí ẹ̀.
Yeah, I want to be sure that the phone. So I'll my share program can be now, you know, like, you know.
Yeah, why not?
Optics, like, how do you think? What do you
I
think?
love it. Baba, I am interested in it. I like it.
You do?
It's very, very good. It's a much more relaxed environment whereby you don't have to sit on your seat.
Yep.
You understand?
Yep.
Whereby you can just sit, relax, invite people whenever you want to. Some of your friends have come down from London and they tell you that in the neighborhood and you know that this person is very vocal. You're like, can you join me in the studio? Even just for 20 or 30 minutes. Let's have a chat.
You didn't feel me,
right?
Saying, because the bottom line, the point is that when people want to come here, right? So I'm going to do a little tour. Thank God that some of you are watching now, Seth, right? So I'm going to do a little tour to show to us why I need all of your support. The fundraiser was really that I pended for now, right? So the bottom line is that we want to make sure that we can bring up any topic, for example, right? And we can bring somebody that is related to that. For example, let's say we want to talk about what Nigerians in the UK are facing. So I can go on and drag whoever they call the ambassador down here, right? Or representing the embassy to come here and sit on this hot seat. Yeah, I mean, take questions from all of us and all of that. So, you need that space, you need that setting that will give this fantastic sort of like a package content. It's relatable. Everybody is like, yeah, I love this. Now I'm going to follow this up, kind of, right?
Yes. The thing is, Baba, I'm going to just give you a quick contribution to the
what I have said
topic you are talking about. Baba, between me and you, I was actually talking about it with a friend at work today. This guy is from Zimbabwe. I said to him, I think Africa is cursed. Because if Africa is not cursed, when all these killings are happening in the Middle Belt, that you guys have been covering and have been talking about it and have been outspoken about it, guess what people are picking up? They are not picking up on this is barbaric, this is not good. They are all about the figures are not correct.
Yeah, they are trying to disprove it by saying that the numbers that people are calling are not correct.
The numbers are being fabricated. I'm like, okay, let's assume that these numbers are being fabricated. Even if it's just one person that lost their life, does that person not matter to you?
I beg you.
What happened to us? I don't say what by you. Don't say what you. Oh, why you to Maloro to say you, Baba? You to Baba to more.
Baba, say you. I go for you, Baba.
Ordinary. Your time, ordinary, Baba. It's not normal. This is not normal. I said Africa has been chaos, Baba, and it's not even a joke. It's not a joke anymore, Baba.
It's not a joke. You see, the saddest part also is the fact that our people have invested so much in this hateful campaign of tribalism and all of what have you, right? That you see, the likes of Tifnumbu and co, they can never believe their luck. Look at it.
I know.
Look at it. People are defending. People are kind of investing more on tribal this, ethnic that. They just this 2027 this like that.
Baba, I want to take you down memory lane. When Jonathan was the president, and we had bombings in Abuja. I saw those bombings. My dad is a politician. He's APC man. And I always call him. And I tell you when I see things. I said to him, when is this rubbish going to stop? You know, that is his fault. He said, the day they blow down their bomb in southwest Nigeria, that's when it's going to stop. It's doing it now. They are doing it. They've been doing it even before, what's his name, came. Buhari came. They've been doing it. What have they done about it?
It's always been like that.
Right? I mean, I'll stop telling them now. I'll stop telling them now because the person that is dearest to me in that country is gone. Do you understand? As far as I'm concerned, as long as I get his wife and kids out of that contraption, whatever goes on, they tell my business because Papa, yes, it has got to his stage now whereby these people that knows what they are doing to they are the same one that they are attacking you. Papa, I got no shit. We put the time for the damage. I got you put yourself in. I'm sorry.
You still stand on that.
Did he make them sit tight? Did he make any difference to anybody?
No.
Did they do anything about it? No. The year of your request because it's okay. As long as you're about to come back, come back to your they don't care. They do not give a thoughts about what happens to anybody in that country.
That's why I don't like. That's why I don't like all these guys who claim to love Nigeria from abroad. Afiso.
You understand?
None of them will genuinely actually take their own family or their children to that place like that, or even relocate back to the place.
I'm going to remind you of another story. Shoroti Baba Kotopa Kuti. Towa like America. Towa Dako. Shoroti.
Shit, Latin America, like wanna be Germany.
Latin America, I will see America or Germany. The same story, yes. You had that for Baba. Shoroti Baba, man, yes. You know that guy. Wọ́n gba ransom lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀. Wọ́n sọ bí kò lè ṣe ìtàbá ẹ̀. Àwọn olórí burúkú tó wà Nàìjíríà wọn máa ní ẹ wá invest síbí yìí ẹ ti wá lé ìbò for 35 years ẹ̀ẹ́dìkúre kí wọ́n tó máa kó mi bọ̀ kí wọ́n invest sí mi.
Oma to need the ransom money, that's the security money. Fizo.
You understand? Even if you pay that, they will get a cover on if you want to pay.
And that's my own fear. My own fear is that they kidnap you, your family, and everybody. Because if they're kidnapping right now, I know how I left the house. Would I call them to go and give me 100 million ransom? So now people will now go about to raise some money only for them to still kill that person.
To kill that person. Only for them to still kill that person.
Take another one. Thank you so much. Abiso, Baba, you have a good one. Nice one. Bless you. So I have another caller on the line. It says here, Ibrahim. Is that your name?
My day, Baba. My body over there.
Oh yeah, Baba. How you doing, man?
It's good. It's good hearing your voice. I've been so busy with my boss.
It's been a while.
You know American life now. All of you will go.
Baba. So I know it's also very early as well. So yeah, chat. Yeah.
Your new settings that you are doing, I really appreciate it. But Maiyegun, I'll go straight to
because I'm actually I'm using one stone to kill two birds, right? So I had to move some of this stuff because my plan, Baba, my plan initially was I needed to get all this stuff for this place, right? So and you see all these settings, as you can see on your screen right now. You see this entire setting is more than 10,000 pounds. This one here, just all of these things in one table here, right? So my plan was that I should have one here, have one in the main room. so that whenever we have to have, like normal. So if it looks good, which it can still look better, because I'm still trying to add an extra camera as well, so that you can have all the angles proper.
It's a constant progress.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you one very honest thing.
Please, sir.
You see podcast, right?
Yep.
Podcast is the way forward now. I won't lie.
I believe.
You. The reason I said that is that you see the programs that you do on YouTube, right? People that miss your live broadcast, some of them will go back to watch the replay, right?
Yeah.
But some people get frustrated when there's too many commercials coming into the broadcast and interrupting them, because some of them have headphones. They have the headphones on, and they have the phone. Maybe they are cooking in the kitchen, or they are doing some cleaning inside the house, and we're like, oh, you know what? I miss my Maiyegun show. Let me replay it. Let me put my headphones on. My phone is in the living on the bed in the room, but it's connected to the headphone. I can hear what is on the program. So sometimes when they see commercial pop up, they'll run into the room and quickly skip the commercial and go back to the thing. But if it is podcast go direct. Even though if there's commercial, they don't need to skip. It's just a commercial, like a music. It's like they're listening to a music while they are listening to the real content. So that's why podcast is like the way is the new way.
I know.
The pathway. So I really like that idea that you came up with that idea. Yes. I just wanted to chip that in.
No, Baba, I appreciate you, Baba. This is what I'm doing now, Although I was supposed to start this program by like half an hour before I did, right? So the intention was that I need to kind of like test run this, okay? So test running it, and at the same time, whatever I do is for all of you, okay? It's about the viewers. So if the viewer says, no, this is like, you know what I mean? Then I can easily just say, you know what, let's adjust it. So your opinion, your what do you call it? Your advice and the rest of that are so valuable, Baba. I appreciate them. And just like everyone's,
let me chip into the current affairs that is going on, so I can give other people, so I can give other people some room,
please.
to call it. You see here, Maiyegun, this to me, right? There's one specific thing that it's like that bothers my mind a lot, and it is the I won't blame our parents, and also I will kind of blame them somehow. The fact that they allowed in their generation, for the fact that they allowed religion to sink into the Nigerian system, that was the beginning of the downfall of Nigeria.
It is. I agree.
When they allowed religion to sink into the system so deep that without...
You can no longer separate religion from state. And it's like exactly the same now. In fact, it was actually the religion that they now use in seeking power.
Exactly. You get exactly my point. The bedrock of the madness of what is going on in Nigeria today, it is religion.
It is.
If an incident happened in America, here that I am, every citizen or every green card holder or every non-citizen that doesn't even have a paper at all on that street, the first thing that kicks into their head is first response. They will not say, Jesus, Jesus, put their hand on their head, screaming, hey, God, help us. They will never say it. Their first instinct is, how many lives can we save? Right. That is their first instinct.
First response.
That is their first instinct. Police of if there's a criminal, in that scene, and that criminal is helping those people, police officer can see him that you are a criminal, but we'll come back for you, not right now.
Later, yeah.
Criminal will even support in first rescue. Now, if that criminal goes to court, they can even pardon that criminal for the fact of the braveness and the patriotism that criminal did during that act. The judge can be like, okay, we will reduce some time for you for the braveness, for the bravery that you've done on a fellow human being. Do you understand that system?
I do.
But in Nigeria,
first, when you think about it, right,
thank you.
There's something about Nigeria, in this West. We accuse them of different atrocities. So, slavery, racism, they exploit Africa, this and that, and the rest. But humanity.
But
It's
But
so,
in Nigeria,
it is so natural for them. Like you will see it in them in a way that you'll be like,
yes,
no, I've never seen anything like this before.
yes. But in Nigeria, religion has made so millions of people forget what humanity is about.
Honestly,
that is what is affecting our politicians.
You know, religion was supposed
That
to
is
make
what
them more human now. Unfortunately, in
No.
that place, somebody said that they don't have religion in Nigeria. What they have in Nigeria is idolatry.
That's it.
That
It's not even idolatry.
It's not Christianity. It's not Islam. It's a pure idolatry.
Maiyegun, sir, it is even it's a disgrace to the people that the idol worshippers. What is it? See, idol worshipping, they have humanity.
Yes. And they believe that if the chief priest misbehave, the deities go kill him.
Exactly.
Like they will say, don't worry, they will deal with him. Once he starts collecting what they didn't ask him to collect now, they will finish. There's a belief, there is strong faith in that. Like if you begin to go this, it will kill you.
There's a panel of guilty conscience.
Yep.
And that has a punishment for it.
But in Nigeria, that, do not touch my anointing and do not say anything about me. It's crazy though. Religion, Baba.
Exactly.
Religion.
So in Nigeria, nothing exists. Nigeria is a vacuum. Nothing. Nothing exists in Nigeria. Nothing.
And it's all
the people that are working.
What makes it sad, Baba?
See,
what makes it sad is that when you discover that all of these are intentional.
Yes.
You get, like it's not that it's not. It cannot be like redone or done better, but they deliberately, intentionally want it this way.
Yes.
That makes it sad. Because Yoruba says that you can only wake somebody who is sleeping. You can't wake somebody who is pretending to be sleeping.
Yes.
You know that now. Like if somebody's like this,
of course.
And you're like, yes, sir, hey, wake up. We all know they pretend now. Even if you are so sleepy, right? If somebody walks into this room and says something, you'll be half awake. Like,
Maiyegun, sir. I want to tell you one thing that I've been tracking.
Please share.
Because for the past 1 week, the events that has been happening in Nigeria has been giving me some type of a sleepless night. And the reason why I'm saying that is when I decided to print out the map of Nigeria, right? I printed out the map of Nigeria and I put it on my work table. Then I started going back into from like 2015. I started drawing lines of these terrorists that they are attacking Nigeria. Some of them are coming from outside Nigeria, crossing the border into the Nigeria, and they are attacking from the north.
I'm telling you, no doubt.
But you know, Maiyegun, do you know what I figured out? The scary part is this. You see the southern Nigeria, they are not coming from the border. They are expanding from within. You know what they call sickle cells?
Right.
So there are sickle cells in the south already been planted from God knows when. Now they are expanding like virus. They are not coming from the border.
And before that, they are just waiting for the whistle. Like once they give them the directive, what are you going to do to us if they give you directive? You're going to kill all of us?
Look at Maiyegun, sir. Look at Plateau State. Look at Plateau State.
Yes, sir.
The terrorists that have been where have they tracked them to?
Not a single one has been.
They never.
And it's not.
They never tracked them. Maiyegun,
you know
the crazy thing.
Fulani group claim responsibility for the killings in Plateau, and they have given conditions for peace. Not a single one has been arrested. Not a single one.
That is the sickle cell I'm talking about. Why? You know why is that? It's because they are not coming from a border. They are
within already. They have had
their inside all over the place. Inside the people.
Camps.
Exactly. They are inside the people. They are not coming from the border. That's the reason why the military cannot track them. Because if the military want to track
Bermuda terrorists right now, there's no sign that they were coming from the Sahel yet. Because Kwara State does not share border with the northern all this Niger and what have you. No. So they probably have been within the space, and they have now been activated, right?
Exactly.
Damn.
Exactly. And this is the scary part. Plateau State is a very big state.
Yep.
Kwara State is also one of the biggest states in Nigeria.
That's right.
So this kind of like take me back to what Dr. Malafia said, because a lot of people are forgetting what Dr. Malafia said. That you see that word that Dr. Malafia said. Dr. Malafia is 1 billion% correct.
Yeah, sorry.
He said when they are done. He said when they are done with the urban area, they will come. They will come to the room. Yes.
Yeah. So I'm trying to answer the African Wahala. So what happened is that they don't share border with anywhere in the north. I mean, you know, yeah, Benin Republic they do, but we do not have Fulani from Benin Republic yet, or maybe they have not started crossing.
If there's a Maiyegun, this is one thing. If there's a terrorist coming from Benin Republic, there is something that is called international military powers. Between Benin Republic and Nigeria, there is a United Nations soldiers or some militias from the west are all stationed around that area. If people don't know, they are not gone. They are there. They know what's going on in Nigeria.
Do those actually have the power to stop them by any means? Like if they are migrating?
Maiyegun,
yes, sir.
Let Boko Haram or any terrorists attack the U.S. embassy in Nigeria. You will see what's going to happen in 2 seconds.
Wow.
Let Boko Haram blow up the American embassy in Lagos. You will see the fighter jets and super Tucano rockets that will fly into Nigeria within 2 seconds.
You are even going too far. You are going too far with the bomb, right? Do you remember that American pastor that got kidnapped in Nigeria? Right, yeah. And because you know, say the border is just closed, right? So the Boko Haram terrorists, they now kidnapped their pastor. They moved him to Nigeria.
Maiyegun, this is the funny part, though. Maiyegun, this is the funny part, though. Let me. Yes, I remember very well. This is the funny part, though. You see, if America want to send their military might, they are not sending it from Washington DC. No.
I know.
The military might is under your nose.
They have AFRICOM. You don't know what they call the AFRICOM. They have AFRICOM.
The military technology,
like, 10,000 soldiers, American soldiers, stationed all over Africa.
Of course. The military might is under your. They are under your nose.
We just lift them from
the reason you are not seeing them.
Why don't say American Marines? They were operating in Nigeria. They came to kill terrorists and rescue a pastor.
See, if you see American soldier on the street of Lagos. Donald Trump have ordered them to go. That's why. If the president did not order them, you will never see them. You just let Donald Trump say, military, I need you guys to go to Lagos right now in 2 minutes. You will be shocked what you will see in the skies of Nigeria. You will be shocked. That is what they call military might. So the problem of Nigeria, it is a ticking time bomb, like you always say. A ticking time bomb. There is a lot of sleeper cells. There is a lot of sleeper cells in the entire South.
A lot.
Both Yoruba land, both Igbo land, both everywhere. There is millions of sleeper cells that they are just waiting to be fully activated. And they are already activating one by one.
Baba. They've disarmed the people.
They have disarmed them through religion. They have disarmed them through religion.
That's
they are waiting for God to come and fight for them. Yes, religion is the problem.
People are living their fight for God, though. Even though so many of them are champions for God, fighting for God.
Maiyegun, look at how long they've been killing people, and I've not seen people say, like, you know what? Through the government, we are defending ourselves. I've never heard any of them say it.
I haven't told. I haven't told. Everybody is kind of.
I've never heard them say
fear.
They've been killing their people, and none of them say screw the government. Screw the government. We are going to defend ourselves. None of them have said it. Maiyegun, let me give place for others to call them.
Thank you so much. Now, I think this works well. I may actually host tonight's program here, even though I'm getting used to actually to stretch, to change things. But I'll fix it. I'll get it somehow. Baba, thank you so much for this morning, okay? Enjoy your own, the rest of the day and the rest of the week as well, in case if I don't speak to you again. Yes, sir. So it's an interesting one. Again, for those of you watching, do me this favor, please, like the broadcast. I'm going to wrap it up now, and I'm going to see all of us later, okay? So I have shared my own little views, and just for the record, by the way, here is one community in Kwara State where Bermuda terrorists just struck. Yesterday, or 2 days ago, we saw them attack travelers, and the travelers they attacked, right? They burned their, their trucks, even the food they are transporting as well in Kwara State. So for these ones, they heard that the Bermuda terrorists are nearing their community, neighboring community was attacked. So they had to start moving. This was yesterday.
Ya tambukura mama akaronjindi bamwe bakura mama bakana mukaronjindi ya iwawa minime ba chikando du mama bagura mama kabe favuno ka zama wa dibu katonkorobo
So, brethren, in the temple of truth, I want to say a big thank you to you. This is just like a test, and it seems that we passed, right? It will get better, I promise. So I will see you some other time. But until then, remember, like the broadcast, share the broadcast, maybe subscribe to my channel as well, right? And I will see you later this evening. Tonight, we'll be treating what Oyemade, I be waiting in name. Yeah, that pastor, something, Teju Abina, Boju, I don't know. Anyway, Oyemade, you know him. So he called Nigerian young people ingrates. You know, said they should be grateful for what they have in Nigeria, because how much do you think it costs to train a doctor in America? And how many years do you think it will take that doctor to pay back the student loan? He was asking some of this, he was doing this comparison and asking these ridiculous questions and at the same time, right? So people have been reacting, and I'm going to react too. Okay, yeah, I'm going to bring that to you tonight, okay? There is more from that. So if you by any chance want to be part of that, set your notification on, or set on your notification. You won't miss it. So thank you so much, everyone, for your time. Enjoy the rest of your day. And please join me in another 4 hours. It's another 4 hours. Oh. Good afternoon.
Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one.
Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one.
Maiyegun ti dé o, ọ̀rẹ́ ará ìlú.
Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one.
Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube.
Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one.
Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Maiyegun já wa sí.
Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one.
Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o.
Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one.
Bó bá ṣe eré, àní Maiyegun máa wí.
Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one.
Ó sì tún ṣe eré, wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o.
Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one.
Maiyegun Diary, Diary political.
Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one.
Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Maiyegun.
Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one.
Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o, kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o.
Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one.
Àní Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Lórí Facebook.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Lórí YouTube.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Bíjó ìgbádìí yẹ. bójó bá rúfin o.
Maiyegun mami.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ra jù.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Kí gómìnà kówó jẹ.
Maiyegun mami.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ra jù.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Ọlọ́pàá tí ń gba rìbá.
Maiyegun mami.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ra jù.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o.
Maiyegun mami.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ra jù.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú.
Maiyegun mami.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ra jù.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ra kì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ra kì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ra kì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ra kì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o, Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀, Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ̀. Oníkanṣá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ra kì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Ha! Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o, ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣà ìtú wọn síta.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ra kì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Tẹnitẹni ọmọ Maiyegun ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́hún ṣọ́ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù. Lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù. Bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sì mọ́ bẹ̀. Èèpo ọ̀bọ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́, ó ti jọba lórí abínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ fòyà. Àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o, ó kó ẹni tó bá dán wò á kàmù. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ra kì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ra kì o. Ẹni bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ra kì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.